a shining, rainless sky. Got to look for love. Drop the gorgeous, myself and I. Got to look for love. Look for love, will always look for love, shine for you. Look for love, when you're around. Look for love, have a look for love.
What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day today. Now, in yesterday's emergency update video, we were talking about what could potentially happen to the price at the Fed minutes. Well, it turns out not really much happened at all. It was very neutral. It was what everyone was expecting. And actually, if you read between the lines, it might have even been slightly bullish because even though, yes, they are still looking to raise rates, they are not looking to go as aggressively as they had in the past. So if you guys are following me over on Twitter, we did talk about that. But having a look right now, the biggest question is, now that we are having this dip, now that we're slowing down, have we actually lost this structure, right? Because we have fallen below the $24,000 level. So that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about what is going on with Bitcoin. I do believe that there is a very, very big move coming. And also, I want to give a bit of a warning because we do know that Mt. Gox is going to release about 140,000 Bitcoin, and people are getting scared. They want to know what could happen once all of these Bitcoins hit the exchanges. How bad could it be? Could we have a massive crash? And how can you prepare? So I'm going to get into all that today, let you guys know exactly my opinion on it. And I can tell you this, a lot of people are going to make this mistake. Stick around. And finally, guys, we have another legacy indicator that I haven't talked about on the channel that I'm super excited to show you guys. So we're going to get into all that today. If that sounds good to you, you know what to do. If you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for? We make this content for the most part every single day. Let's dive in. Let's have a look at what is going on with this Bitcoin chart. Now, Bitcoin is, in fact, in a rising wedge. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about that. It's a very obvious pattern that we're forming, and textbook says that we should technically break to the downside, right? Rising wedges are inherently bearish. Now, I will say this. Every single person is looking at this structure, and everyone is anticipating that we're going to have a massive breakdown. Now, is that the case? I do believe that we could be due for somewhat of a minor correction, but there are a lot of people looking to try to short this area right here. You can try it. It might be a bit of a crowded trade, just saying. But hypothetically, let's have a look at what could happen, right? You can see right here, and I just wanted to point out the one difference. If we have a look at the CME futures, it actually is more of just a, more of like a flag, right? Which I guess you would say is a bear flag if we're coming down and then moving up, right? So once again, lots of people probably going to take that short, going to assume that we're going to come crashing down, right? Lots of resistance right here. You could see getting above around 24,600. But like I said, getting back to ultimately these levels, if we do break to the downside, where would I start getting concerned, right? Well, we have two different levels we can catch right here. There's 22,500 and then there's 22,000 even. So if you were looking to layer into the longs, if you think we're going to move up and continue moving up the way that I think we're going to after maybe a little correction possibly, then you can do that. The ultimate level where I would be looking to sort of cut it off is around 21,210, because essentially you could see back here where we had all of this resistance right here in this area. What it would end up doing is, you know, if we didn't flip that as support, that would be really, really bad. And if we fell through, then I would have to basically cancel out on that. But I would say that if we do come down and test around that $21,600, $21,300 area, that would be definitely where I would re-up on the longs. And if the breakout does happen, which is a lot easier to do, to be honest with you, all we have to do essentially is break out above this level right here. And I understand we've attempted to do this multiple times, so you might want to wait for the confirmation, but $23,800 roughly would be the area, with my target being from the breakout to the top of this channel. So that would be about a 6% increase if we hit the top, but ultimately the blue zone is sitting at $25,803. And I do believe that that is a possibility. So good opportunity if you guys are looking to long. If you want to take that short, you can. It's quite a crowded trade, but if you have no idea what I'm talking about and you want to learn, make sure that you check out my tutorial on how to trade popping up above, and there are over $20,000 in bonuses below. Take advantage of it, guys. It literally takes 3 seconds to sign up. You just put an email, a password, and that's it. And then you're eligible for that extra bonus. So I would take advantage of that, especially now. You can literally trade with free money. And if you make profits, you can keep that and you can withdraw that money. And if you lose that money, nobody cares because it was free anyway, right? So just take advantage of those opportunities, guys. So we've been talking about these indicators, these bottom indicators, right? These legacy indicators. I've gone over tons of them. We have the market cipher green dot. We have the pi cycle bottom. We have the RSI that I showed you guys, right? I even tweeted over on Twitter. I want to talk about something else today. So first thing I want to mention is that we do have this capitulation that we had on the miners, right? And we know that usually once we have that capitulation, we usually have about 3 months to maybe 6 months before the recovery. But what I want to show you right here is that we've actually gotten our first green dot over here on the hash ribbons. Now, just so you guys know, this does not mean that, the hash ribbons are a lagging indicator, right? So you don't get that blue buy signal until it's way past, right? It's more of a confirmation signal, like as in the miners have capitulated, it is confirmed. And the rally has resumed, it is confirmed, right? So you're not going to use the miner capitulation, the hash ribbons really to, instantly decide whether or not you're going to buy or sell. It's more of a confirmation. But I will say this, we have moved into the green, which is the middle, right, between the capitulation and the blue buy dot. Now, obviously, you can have some fake outs right now. So I wouldn't take this as an exact, buy right now indicator. But just to let you guys know, it is, in fact, moving from capitulation potentially into the buy. And, when you're looking at the hash ribbons, you kind of want to anticipate, right? Because by the time you get the buys, for example, this buy was here, and that buy signal was at $9,000. Well, Bitcoin was down around 3,600, right? Same thing here. This buy signal was around $18,000, right? Whereas the capitulation happened at around 11. Same thing here. This buy signal was around $42,000 and Bitcoin had bottomed at 29, right? So it's a lagging indicator, but I just want to show you that we are progressing and potentially this could be signaling that the bottom is in. Oh, guys, and if you've been following the Crypto Zombie channel, I know there's some of you that have been watching my channel for a long time. You will know that we used to look at this super guppy chart a lot, right? Now, obviously, right here, the guppy did lose the green. We started to fall. There wasn't really much excitement to talk about. Now, one thing that you'll notice is when the super guppy, and by the way, this is made, if you guys are wondering what this is, it's like a combination of about 30 different moving averages. It's just, so yeah, anyway, long story short, really just explain it like a 5-year-old or to a 5-year-old, explain it like a 5-year-old. Ultimately, when you're in the green, you stay in the green for a very long time, right? You can see right here, we went into the green December of 2012. We left the green September of 2014, and it usually signals a massive run, right? Well, we're not in the green, we lost the green. Let's have a look at what else we see. Well, what happens is first it tends to go into a bit of a neutral, right? And then it goes into blue, and then it goes into red. Now, red usually, even though you would think red means like danger, bad, no, red actually usually means that we're getting very close to the end of the bear market, right? Every time it has flashed red, the bottom is already in, right? 100% already in, same thing here. Are you guys following me? Although keep in mind, when it flashes red, it's often too late, right? For example, it started to flash red here. Well, I guess if you caught it, technically, yeah, you did catch that pump, but the more important thing that I really want to mention right now is what happens when we go from blue back to neutral. That's the key. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't have another blue flash. You can always have blue and red. Blue and red can flash at the same time, right? I'm just talking about the historical pattern of what happens right here on this on this super guppy on the weekly. What happens when we go from blue to neutral? Well, you can see right here, we switched on the week of February 16th of 2015, right, guys? That was right here. You guys can see right here, we had that flash. And what had happened at that point? Doesn't matter that we went back into the blue. We had blue flashing neutral. We had this capitulation wick all the way down to $149, and the bottom was absolutely in at that point, okay? Let's fast forward again to what happened here in the 2018-2019 bear market, right? So obviously we had the blue flashing, major capitulation right here. We had the low at around $3,200 for Bitcoin. And over here, February 11th of 2019, we had the signal flash. And from that point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight weekly green candles. And guess what, guys? The bottom was already in. Actually, from this point, how many weekly candles did we get before? 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 right there. Either way, the bottom was in. Now, let's zoom in and have a look at what happened right here. Well, guys, we just had that signal flash on the week of July 18th, which was literally exactly 1 month ago to the day. And guess what happened, guys? We had this major capitulation, and that went down to 17,600. So if history was to repeat, the bottom is in. So just saying, guys, every single indicator that I can pull out, everything that we've looked at over the past 6 years on this channel is pointing towards the bottom being in. So whether or not, if you're day trading, okay, of course, you can use high leverage, you can get stopped out, you can screw up big time. If you're not good at trading, you shouldn't be trading. And if you're like new to crypto, you definitely shouldn't be trading, especially not on a paper account, dollar cost average. But historically speaking, these zones right here where we have blue flashing into the neutral is the best opportunity for buys, right? Obviously, the next thing that we'll be looking for is the red. And once we get that red signal, well, then I would probably say the bear market is almost over. It's not officially over yet. We're still in a downtrend, but I do believe the bottom is in. Now, let me talk about this. So Mt. Gox is looking to release a lot of Bitcoin, right? According to sources, the Mt. Gox trustee is going to release and reimburse some Bitcoin. A lot of people saying this may increase the market's selling price, and it may create selling pressure, and it may dump the market because there was a bunch of Bitcoin that was released at the top in 2017 for something else. And that was basically within a week of the top of the market, and then the market crashed 85%, right? So is that going to happen again this time? Well, the creditors are going to have two choices for making up their losses. The first step is receiving payment in the local currency. This will be a mixture of yen, Bitcoin, or BCH, I guess Bitcoin Cash they're going to give them, or Bitcoin. Or the other option is you allow the trustee to convert the digital assets into cash, and that will be the second alternative. So they don't have to get it in crypto. They can get it sent to them in cash. So that, number one, could change things, right? Maybe they'll just take the cash option. I don't know the full details of everything, but long story short, they got hacked for about 850,000 Bitcoin. They only have 840 that were stolen, that were found, that they're going to be giving back. So what does this mean? Does this mean that the markets are going to crash? Guys, I'm going to just tell you in the simplest possible way what I'm doing to prepare for this. You want to know? Nothing. Why? Because I don't think anything's going to happen. If anything does happen, it's going to be because of how people are reacting, because people are scared, which is why I think it's important to spread the news that it's not a big deal. You don't believe me? Let me show you why. 140,000 Bitcoin, right? 140,000 Bitcoins, right? Not dollars, Bitcoins. Okay, let's go over to CoinMarketCap. Now, excluding the daily volume of all cryptocurrencies, right? We're just talking about Bitcoin here, right? So you could see that Bitcoin yesterday alone did $23 billion, $23.4 billion worth of volume, right? Now, what's really cool is you can go up here to the top of CoinGecko. See up here, you can change it from USD and you can switch it to Bitcoin. So now we're seeing values in Bitcoin, not dollars, right? Well, now let's go to the 24-hour volume for Bitcoin. 998,860 Bitcoin we did just yesterday in volume. Did you see what happened to the price? We fell $500. That's almost 1 million Bitcoin in volume. So coming back here and being worried about 140K Bitcoin really isn't that big of a deal when you consider the volume. And, depending on which site you trust, you can go to you can go to different types of on-chain datas if you want, although they're not going to do much for centralized exchanges. But, we could do the same thing over here. We can go over to CoinMarketCap. We could switch it to Bitcoin. We could scroll down here, and they're actually saying a little bit more volume. They're saying that we did over 1 million Bitcoin. We did almost 1.1 million in Bitcoin in volume, according to CoinMarketCap. So 1 million Bitcoins traded yesterday moved the price about $500 down. I'm not that worried about 140,000 Bitcoin, guys. So that's why I think it's just a big thing that they're just fudding. What could end up happening is maybe like on the day that the news gets released, maybe just people panic and people start selling, but the actual selling from the creditors themselves, really shouldn't have much of an impact on the market. So I think it's just a kind of big story that people are just throwing around, creating a lot of FUD. I don't think it's going to have a big impact. And actually what's kind of crazy is even if they had all of the Bitcoin that was stolen, all 850,000, and if that was released, that still is less than what we did in yesterday's volume. So either way, it's not that big of a deal, guys. Bitcoin trades a lot more and a higher frequency than, 140,000. Not a big deal, guys. Very small percentage of the overall market. So what should we be worried about, though? Should we be worried about something? Well, yeah, there are a few things we should be worried about. Number one, we should be worried about what is going on with this DXY right here, right? Because we did lose this parabolic trend. And I said right here, we actually tested the 50 on the daily and we fell below it. And I said that there's a good chance if we stay below this, then the dollar's trend has broken. But look what happened here. We had this downward sloping trend, right? The dollar broke out of it. And the dollar broke above the 50 and it went back into the blue zone. So if this continues to the upside, you can see right here, having that previous resistance flip support, unfortunately, that actually was bullish for the DXY. So we have to keep our eyes on it. We're still looking for that major break. We'd have to fall essentially below 104 to really have that confirmed reversal of the trend. Just trying to keep my eyes here, on some of the things to pay attention to. But right now, yeah, the dollar pumping, that could still be a problem for Bitcoin. And of course, the fact that we do also have traditional stocks, not only, look at the S&P, right? We have this major bear market resistance. It's literally approaching it. It's just a few points away. And also, we're hitting this resistance here. And also, we are in a rising wedge as well on the S&P 500. So that is something I would pay much more attention to than Mt. Gox. I think the dollar rising and this particular resistance right here, potentially about to happen very soon on stocks in general, I think that's a bigger concern than the Mt. Gox dump. So just wanted to give my opinion on it. You let me know. Maybe I missed something. Maybe there's something that I didn't quite understand. I just don't think it's going to move the markets. Now, let's talk about some interesting news. What's going on, my Canadian friends? So Canada-based crypto exchange BitBuy and Newton are enforcing a 30,000 Canadian dollar annual buy limit for restricted coins for their users based in Ontario in order to protect consumers amid tightening regulations. So what are their restricted coins? Well, turns out basically all of them. Apparently the only coins that are not being restricted are Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, and Litecoin. That's it. Everything else has a $30,000 limit on it. And also, they say that they clarified if a trader bought and then sold a restricted coin, the sell amount would be subtracted from the limit. The limit resets every 12 months from the first purchase of restricted coins. So I don't know. Not too sure how I feel about that, guys. It, sucks. I mean, for the longest time, the US, forget it. We got banned from all these different exchanges and ICOs and token sales a while ago. They haven't done anything like that over here yet. But talking about what Canada is doing in this particular situation, I can see where they're coming from, but I also kind of disagree with it because I am a firm believer in you should do what you want with your money. You know what I mean? Whatever you want to do. They can let you go put your mortgage payment, go to the roulette table, put it all on black and lose it in 5 seconds, and that's okay. You can gamble it all away, but you can't buy more than $30,000 worth of crypto. I don't get it. I don't see the point. I think people should be able to do whatever they want with their money as long as what they're doing with their money isn't hurting other people, right? I'm not paying for something nefarious or terrible to be done, and I'm just buying a cryptocurrency. But that's what's going on in Canada. A little bit better news for my Australian friends, though. If you are from Canada, though, how do you feel about that? There has been some pushback from the community. I did see a lot of people were very angry about that. Let me know. And also for my Australian friends out there, it looks like you guys out there can now use cryptocurrency to pay for gasoline and other goods, including Krispy Kreme donuts. Obviously, that is the top of the mountain. Krispy Kreme donuts. So this is at 175 OTR service stations throughout a partnership with Crypto.com and terminal provider Data Mesh. Also, we do have Brian Armstrong speaking out, and although I'm not a fan of Coinbase, you guys know how I feel. They kicked me off months ago. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But anyway, long story short, I did talk about my concerns of Ethereum moving to proof of stake, and could this be an issue with control and blacklisting wallets and things of that nature. Well, Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong said that the exchange would prefer to close its staking service rather than comply with possible regulatory requests to censor Ethereum transactions. Quite surprised to hear this from you, Brian. Armstrong's comments come amid a heated debate concerning the prospective strength of Ethereum's censorship resistance after it transitions into proof of stake. According to the Beacon Chain staking data, interesting piece right here, Coinbase is set to become the third largest Ethereum validator following the merge. So that's pretty interesting. And you can understand that by keeping your Ethereum on these exchanges, yes, even though technically you're staking it and you're getting rewards, really they're just glorified IOUs. It's not really your Ethereum. I mean, look what happened with Celsius. Look what happened with Voyager. You want me to just keep going down the list, right? Look what happened with HODLNOT, right? Not your keys, not your coins. But I got to end on this story. Speaking of apparently your keys, but not your coins because you downloaded a not safe for work video. So this is just random. Former hedge fund manager alleges he lost $450,000 in crypto from a corn virus. I'm not going to say it because they don't like when I say that word on here. So former hedge fund manager Martin Shkreli has claimed that the massive crash of his cryptocurrency, dubbed Martin Shkreli Inu or MSI, was due to a hack that emanated from an attempted download of a cornography file. This comes after the token plunged by over 90% following a dump from a crypto wallet linked to Shkreli. Sure, nothing strange about any of that there, guys. But ultimately, as I said, these buy signals flashed. I showed you guys yesterday. I still have the circles on here of these 3 green dots. We've only ever had 3 on Market Cypher weeklies every single time that we had these conditions with the other circumstances, the RSI falling, the money flow coming out of the red, and the VWAP moving to the positive. We have marked an absolute glorified market bottom opportunity for buying Bitcoin. So I'm just going to leave that there with you guys. Thank you again for coming back to the channel. You guys rock. Again, if you want to check out the tutorial on BitGet, I highly recommend it, guys. I put a lot of time and effort into it. It's 43 minutes long. I want to make these videos to help you guys if you are looking to learn to trade. So that's it for me. Check that popping up above. I love you guys. You're awesome. You are the reason that I make these videos. We are going to be in some exciting times soon. I do think we are going to see some crazy volatility coming out of the Bitcoin price, excuse me, coming out of the Bitcoin price soon. And, get subscribed. We'll go over that. And I will keep you guys up to date on what I'm doing and what I see in the charts. So thank you so much for coming back to the channel. You guys are awesome. My name's K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. And before you go, make sure you check out this video right here, right now. Until next time, stay crypto. And of course, peace out.